Hi, hello everybody. I wanted to record a video for your first paragraph, even though you kind of did it already. I want you to at least review this if I told you to review it, especially if you haven't written it yet. It's going to be super important. If you don't have an introduction and you don't have a thesis statement, we're going to have a really hard time moving on to a body paragraph. So first things first, I want to show you on Google Classroom, I've made a section for your essay videos. So once this one is up, you'll be able to see it in the argumentative essay video section. You're going to go ahead and open up this paragraph 1. All right, once you click on this assignment, it's going to look just like this, okay? So go ahead and open up the assignment, write your name, date, class color. Go ahead and pause the video and do that. All right, so you should have filled in name, date, and class color. Now I want you to look at the instructions here. So these instructions here are going to tell you exactly what you need to do. All right, so we're going to go one step at a time. The first thing we're going to do is the hook. For the hook, it tells you to introduce readers to your topic. Now remember, introducing readers to your topic means that you want to draw them in so that they want to read your essay. Now I'm going to be rating this, obviously, so I don't want to hear the same hook from everybody. That's super boring for me. Think about what would be interesting about your topic. So we know that your topic is the relationship between parents and children. So a good way to start a hook is usually a question. For example, make sure we highlight this in orange. Have you ever blank? Like, have you ever wished your parents would listen to you? Or do you think it's fair that children have no say in how their lives go? Or you can come up with something on your own. It doesn't need to be a question even. And you do not need to have 3 sentences. I'm just giving you options here so that way you have some ideas to get started. All right, so think about something interesting. Think about a question. Think about a statement maybe. It's up to you. You get to decide, and I'm not going to tell you what to write. I gave you a couple of examples, and I want you to kind of do that on your own. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead again and have you pause. Make sure that you write. All right, you should have written in your hook. Now we're going to move on to background information. Now, background information is going to be anything the reader needs to know before they read your essay. So think about what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be citing evidence from the crossover to support our claim of whether or not parents should listen to the advice of their children. However, if people are reading this essay and they've never read the crossover, they probably need some information about it. So what we're going to do here is write a few sentences about the crossover. What is the book about? What's important about it? Whenever we write about books, we want to make sure that we italicize the title. Here we include the author's name. And you're going to summarize the book. So you probably want to start off with something like twin boys, Josh and Jordan Dell, play basketball and are coached and practice oftentimes with their father, Chuck Bell. Okay, you want to start off with something like that. You need to introduce the characters because most likely you will be talking about the characters in your writing. So you'd like your reader to know who they are, why they matter, what's their story. Write at least 2 sentences. You're probably going to need closer to 3. And you want to go through like the whole book. So you want your reader to know that the dad dies in the end, especially if you're going to be referencing his health issues. All right, so you're summarizing the crossover. So go ahead and pause this video, type in your answers. And after you type in your answers, I want you to raise your hand so I can come and look at your paragraph. All right, that way I make sure that you're on the right track so far. Okay, so at this point, I've given you the okay, the go ahead. Yes, you're good. The last part is your thesis statement. So a thesis statement is the most important part of your intro. Oh, that was kind of terrible, wasn't it? Well, we're going to leave it. So the thesis statement is your claim plus 2 supporting reasons. Now remember, your claim is something that you're trying to prove. So what are we trying to prove? It's either one side or another. So hopefully you've picked your side already, and we're going to add 2 supporting reasons. The reason we write a thesis statement in our introduction is so that we have a map for the rest of our paper. every reason that you put there is going to be the topic of your body paragraphs. So if you don't have good, strong reasons, then your body paragraphs are going to be kind of all over the place. It's going to be hard to read. It's not going to be a very strong essay, and it's not going to get a very good grade. We start off our thesis statement with our claim. Now, I'm going to write parentheses, and I'm going to write both options, should or should not. You are going to pick one, so don't be giving me any parentheses here. All right? We're not going to start with I think either. When you write an argumentative essay, it's really tempting to write I think, I believe, in my opinion. We don't do that, even though it is your opinion, because it's not a strong argument. You want to state it as if it is true, like as if nobody else would be arguing with it. So parents should or should not listen to the advice of their children. That's your claim. Now we need to add our two supporting reasons. So we're going to write because. And you need to come up with two different reasons. Right? So think about two simple, specific reasons. You don't want them to be the same. That's the big danger with thesis statements. You don't want them to be the same exact reason. You don't want to say because sometimes parents have health issues and because sometimes kids are worried about their parents' health. Those are kind of the same thing. You don't want to talk about something like because financially kids might know better, because we don't really reference that in the crossover. So you want to think about general reasons. Like, what are some reasons that parents should listen to advice of children? Not just listen to children in general, but advice specifically. If you need extra support, I'm going to show you where you can find some reasons for your thesis statement. Okay, so a place that you can find this, I'll be posting this on Google Classroom, and it will be in the same section underneath week 9. It'll look like this. So these are some options that you could use according to your claim, and some places you can find evidence for whether or not parents should listen to the advice of their children or parents should not listen to the advice of their children. Okay, so this will be underneath week 9. So go ahead and write your thesis statement. Pause your video, raise your hand, and I will come and look at it. All right, hopefully I've looked at it, given you the okay. If you do complete this, you need to make sure that you turn it in. So for example, in this class, I've got 6 people that turned it in, and I think more than 6 people actually finished it. So if you don't turn it in, then I'm not going to count it as part of your grade. You need to make sure that you actually turn it in on Google Classroom. All right, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to ask me. That's what I'm here for. Watch this video as many times as you need, but make sure you're making some progress.